A very good afternoon to you. Thanks for choosing Newzroom Afrika. Let's start off your sport with motorsporting news. The Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit has taken the first steps to upgrading the racetrack to meet Formula One standards. They have assured local motorsport fans that they will create a suitable home for the sport's return to the country. Rumours of the South African race making a return for the first time since 1993 have swirled for years. Today, the circuit released a statement to say that they have taken proactive steps by engaging the services of Apex Circuit Design to prepare a roadmap for FIA Grade 1 accreditation, which is a requirement to host a modern Formula One event. This comes on the back of Minister of Sport Gayton Mackenzie meeting the Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali at the Azerbaijan Formula One Grand Prix in September this year. At the same event, the minister is said to have had an extremely good meeting with President Mohammed bin Sulayem of the FIA. This where they discussed support for the F1 bid. Kyalami and the engineering group have met with the minister to outline plans for FIA Grade 1 accreditation. Well, to chat more about this story, we're joined by South African Endurance Series commentator Prince Ndiweni. A very good afternoon and welcome to Newzroom Afrika. We've been waiting for something a little more solid than just rumours, and it came earlier on today, didn't it?
Absolutely. Good afternoon to you and all of the viewers. I think the energy, the buzz around this event, and particularly its relationship with this country, is stronger than it's ever been. And to see such commitment from our promoters at Kyalami, it definitely is. It does bode well for the potential of this event coming. And we're hearing the conversation coming from many more parties, apart from just Kyalami. It's coming from our government, and it's coming from Formula One themselves and prominent figures in the sport. So things really are in a decent level of momentum for us to look forward to something in the near future.
And it does take a lot of stakeholders to actually bring a Formula One race to the country, and also a lot of money. I saw a price tag of over $50 million US. Would that be the kind of price that we were looking at to host one Formula One Grand Prix, provided that the track is up to speed, I mean?
Yeah, and I like the caveat you have towards the end there, because the 50+ million is just the money that would be going to the Formula One management. That is the company that's running the promotion of Formula One. And that's for the privilege of using the franchise and hosting and having the franchise in our country. The rest of the millions that need to be accounted for come in the form of track maintenance, of upgrading our circuit to a level where it can have cars of that level of performance safely, and also house the number of fans that would be attending the event and the overall spectacle, because it's more than just a racing event. It's a circus on steroids, some people would call it. And those kinds of fees, the upgrading of the circuit alone, that Apex Circuit Design is going to be, or seems to be in the process of undertaking, could touch anything around the 170 million rand figure. So those kinds of figures are something that are just commonplace when it comes to Formula One. Hence, then, it's taking so many stakeholders to actually make this happen. And it's no surprise that it does take time for conversations to become this advanced, where you have the potential of FIA officials visiting and inspecting the circuit, which is what happened, I believe, 2 years ago, when we had potential of seeing the event here in 2023. We came very close, and it seems like we're on that track once more.
When we speak about FIA Grade 1 accreditation, we know that Kyalami underwent a massive facelift not too many years ago, and it certainly is the country's premier racetrack. What would they need to do in order to get it up to that standard?
At the moment, it may seem like it's a cosmetic upgrade, but it's not. It's about safety and housing, like I said, cars of that level of performance. So it's around the curbs, the barriers, and things of that nature. They seem like minor tweaks, but the kind of wear and tear that these cars would take a racing circuit through needs that kind of upgrade to guarantee the fact that should anything happen that is untoward and unplanned for, or the basic wear and tear that you have when you're hosting such a race, should anything like that happen, then it minimizes the risk of the lives and health of not only the racing drivers, but spectators overall. So we're looking at things like that. It's the curbs, it's improvement of minor parts of the circuit themselves, and the barriers, your Tech Pro barriers, which is seen at the end of certain high-speed corners. All of those are meant to absorb incredible amounts of force. If any one of those cars were to make impact with that barrier at full tilt, you would need something that has incredible technology behind it to absorb that while keeping not only the racing driver safe, but also the people behind the barrier. So those things take a lot of investment, and it needs cutting edge technology to make that happen.
And just to get the track up to the standard that's required, you mentioned over 170 million rand. We spoke earlier about the price tag for just one Grand Prix race. It would then make sense that before embarking on upgrading the track to get it up to this standard, that it's not just a once-off event, but actually more like a 3-year contract.
100%. You seem to be more privy about these things than me to some extent. I'd love to hear some of the other things you know about this. But yeah, it really is about the relationship that the host would have with Formula One, because Formula One also is a business at the end of the day, and they need to identify the value proposition that the host offers. So that would be one of the factors that determine the length of a contract, if it is a multi-year contract that is signed, or if it is something that is open to extension once that contract expires. We've seen the nature of those relationships with other hosts. I don't think it's that much of a secret of the trade, but it's important, I think, for them to commit for a number of years, because the amount of commitment from both sides is quite significant. So they need to know that they're getting value out of this, which certainly I think is there, because this is a venue that's been on the calendar before. It has history and heritage, and there's a new culture that's resurging. I think it's not new in the sense that we're novices at the prospect of motorsport in South Africa, but the energy is such that there's a lot of revenue possibly to be generated from several streams of income. Culturally, motorsport has grown a lot more, and there's many more cultures that are entering motorsport. It's fashion, it's music, it's entertainment. All of those prospects are making it worthwhile to not only come here for 1 or 2 years, possibly 3, but then there's certain factors that need to be there to sort of smooth things along and grease the wheels. It's negotiation, it's business, and things we're not entirely
Prince, I'm so
privy
sorry
to.
to
So
interrupt
those
you,
things
but
are
we're
one.
actually getting to the top of the hour, so my apologies to interrupt you, but it's been great having you on the show, chatting to us about a potential return of Formula One to South Africa, and to Kyalami specifically. That's Prince Ndiweni, who is a motorsporting analyst. That's how we come to the end of your Sports in this hour.